Yes, hello everyone. Very good evening to each and everyone. I hope my voice is clear for you all. Please confirm that, guys. Yeah, good evening all. Please tell me whether my voice is audible to you all, people. Is that clear? Yeah, definitely. That's good. So, guys, we will wait for 5 more minutes, 5 to 10 more minutes, so that everyone will join, and then after we can start the session. Okay. So, as coming to today's topic, we are going to do something different that is not linking with the previous topics. That is data integration. Okay, so in ServiceNow also we have data integration and migration. So in that we are going to discuss about the integration, how we are going to use this integration tool to move our configurations from one instance to another instance. Okay, so we have one single topic in that. So in that specific topic, we are going to learn a lot. Okay, so today we are going to deal with that, and I will also practically do that in our instance so that everyone can have a good idea on particular topic. That is updates. Okay. Coming to the exam, there is no deadline. And as compared to the completion of course, everyone please start working on the courses, now learning courses, because we are here to help you, right? In the Telegram, whatever the queries that are posted, or each and every query, someone is answering over there. Okay. So take a help of mentors and take a help of your friends, and please try to solve the errors. Then after, please try to complete the courses that are been assigned for you. So we have assigned with the three courses, everyone. Please check that you need to complete three courses that are assigned for you people. That is Welcome to ServiceNow, Micro Certification, and ServiceNow Fundamentals on Demand. Okay. So everyone should complete these three courses. That is very important. Even that links are already shared in the Telegram group. Even though you got the mail, but I have shared that particular links again in the Telegram group so that everyone can easily identify and everyone can easily start work on that. In case your friends are interested in to do that, and if they are already registered for this program, please let them also know that this particular program is going on, and let them also complete complete the now learning modules. Okay. So I'm going to explain these three modules once again whenever I'm continuing with the mid of the class. Okay, so that will be the count, that will be the peak count of the students. So at that time, I also explain you how you can complete that, what are the instructions that you need to follow. Okay. So as for now, guys, I do wait for 5 more minutes. Then after we will continue with the task. I don't know about the deadline, but you can check that in the mail. Whatever the mails that you get right, please check that. Hmm. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the session once again. Once again, please confirm that guys whether my voice is clear for you or not. Whether my voice is clear for you or not. Clear. Everyone can hear me, right? Yeah, that's great. That's great. So let me recap the things that we have discussed yesterday. Then after I will move with the new concept that is what is it? That is data migration and integration. So in that specifically we have going to discuss about the single topic, that is update sets. So how we are going to use that update set and what are the different types of update sets are there and where we are going to use that. Okay, so I will explain that very clearly guys. So before that, I want to ask few questions from the yesterday's class so that I will check how many of you are listening the class. Okay, so my first question is like my first question is like yesterday we have discussed about the topic extended table, right? Extended table. In that particularly, I want to ask a single question like whenever we are going to create a record in the child, is that visible in the parent? Whenever if I'm going to create a record in the child, is that visible in the parent object also? Yes. Yes. Is that visible? Yes. Okay. So whenever we are creating any record in the child, that means that will automatically reflect that record in the parent. That's great. And what happens if we create a record in the parent? What happens if we create a record in the parent? What happens if we create a record in the parent? Is that going to appear in the child? No, where it doesn't have any async questions. No, 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 no. It won't appear in the child. Okay. So, whereas coming to the reversing of that order, if I create any record in the parent, that means it is not able to, sorry, as a child, we can't see that particular record that is created in the parent. But whereas coming to the field, what happens, guys? If I create any field in the parent, what happens? If I create any parent in the field, what happens? Can I see that in the child? If I create any parent field in the parent table, that is going to available in the child table. That, so that everyone already practiced that particular scenario that we have discussed. That is fantastic. Okay, so guys, let me brief you out once again what is the exact topic that we have discussed and what are the things that we have covered yesterday. So in yesterday's class, I have covered about the extended table, that is the fourth type of relationship. So how we are going to extend one table and how we are going to use that table as a reference table to create our own tables, and what are the properties that we are going to collect from the tables, and how the configurations are going to change for each and every field that we are going to change. So if you want to override the configurations also, we have did something, that is dictionary override. If you want to override the configurations also, we did something, that is field dictionary override. So if you want to override the configurations that are coming from parent table, so we simply need to go to the field, then after right click on the field name, we will see one option called config dictionary. Click on that. Then after we can go with the option called dictionary override. Okay, so these how we are going to change the properties that are coming from the parent. Hmm? Then after I have started discussing about the one more topic called data modeling. One more topic called data modeling, where we are going to create a modules as well as applications. So firstly I have discussed about the applications, then after we have discussed about the modules, and also there are lot of things in that particularly we have discussed, like whenever we are giving some role to the application, what happens? Whenever we are giving role to the module, what happens? What if we are not giving any role to the application? Is that visible to everyone or not? And how we are going to set the securities for application. So these how we are going to decide the level of securities for the application by defining the role for that particular application. So whereas coming to the next thing, what we have discussed in that particular modules, also I told that there are multiple link types in that particular modules. Also, I told that there are multiple link types. So, for an example, I have selected only three different link types should to show the differences how that is going to work. So, firstly, I have selected the default one, that is list of records. That is helping me to directly navigate the list of records. That is helping me to directly navigate the list of records. But whereas coming to the second one, what is it happening? What is happening? So that is going to open a new form for me. That is helping me to open a new form for me. Whereas coming to the third one, I have created one more module with the name separator that will allow me to show my modules in a single module. I can restrict that. That means I can minimize the space of the modules, and I can expand that to see the modules inside that particular separator. So this is how we are going to work on a different link types that are available in the module. So then after I told that you all people need to try a different link types. So if you have any kind of queries, guys, while working on the link types, please let me know in the chat box. Then after I'm going to start explaining about today's topic, that is data, data integration, data migration and integration. So guys, also tell me that whether you are able to see the screen or not. Also, please mention that whether you are able to see the screen or not. Everyone can see the screen, right? That's great. That's great. Yeah, meanwhile, you can call your friends and tell them that session has been started, because I think now the count is very less. I think so. I need to wait for few more minutes. I think so. But that is not necessary. So they can watch the recordings later on. So, but let me explain the topic first of all. So as coming to the today's topic, guys, that is about data migration as well as integration. So whereas coming to this particular topic, data migration and integration, we are going to work on a specific concept, that is update set. We are going to work on a specific concept, that is update set. So how we are going to use this update set, so that it is going to help us to move the configurations that we have performed in my instance to the another instance. Okay, so firstly let me go and brief you about the update sets, and then after we will see practically how that particular update set is moving a data, that is sorry, how that particular update set is moving the configurations from one instance to another instance. So here guys, in this particular slide, you are going to observe that we have two applications that is there in the different. So each and every application have different things over here. So application A is having table A and table A UA policies and two business rules on that. And whereas coming to the application B, here also table B is there for the application, and there are some things like UA policies, and that is also on the B table, and B1 and B2 are the business rules for the application B. But here as coming to the application scope. So whenever we are discussing about the update set, you also need to know about the application scope first. That is very important, because whenever we are going to create one update set, we need to know in which application scope we are going to store that also. In which application scope we are going to store the configuration also, because if you are storing that particular application in the different scope, if you are going to search for that, you are not able to find that. That's why it is very important whenever you are working on the update set, that is very important to know about the application scope. So I will tell you where this particular application scope is available for us, and how we are going to transfer the configurations. Okay, so here is very simple slide it is there here. Basically, whereas coming to the application scope is nothing but a restriction for the application that we are going to create from the application development. Restricting the application for, and also you can think in this way, like we are going to provide extra security for the application based on the storage that we want to give for that application. Okay, so here we are going to help that application to be prevented separately, and that should not be given to any other persons. That should not be given to any other persons. In that way, so we are going to work on the application scope. So application scope protects application by identifying and restricting access to available artifacts and data. That is the very simple thing that is telling over there. So whenever you are giving any separate application scope for the application that you are going to build, then what happens is like it will automatically give some protection for that application. So it will also help the other users to restrict, and we can't even find that application. But whereas coming to the security, this is the best thing that we can provide. So then after we have one more thing, that is application develops prior to the application scope or in the global scope. So here one point is very clear, that application that is being going to be developed, that is going to be developed. So before going to be develop that application, each and every application are defaultly in the global scope. So if we want to create any separate application scope for that, we can do that. But as for the instance, every application scope is already in the default global state. Okay, defaultly it is in the global state. So I will show that as well, guys. Wait for that. Then after, for every custom application, if you want to create any private scope, we can do that as well. For every custom application that we are going to build, for that, if you want to create a separate private scope for that application to store the securities of that application, we can do that. Okay. So now I'm going to share the entire screen, guys. Once again, please observe the screen, whether you are able to see the screen or not. Click on that, share the screen. So please confirm me, everyone, whether you are going to see the screen or not. Is visible for you people, right? Yes, that's great. That's good. So now I'm just opening the instance here. So now I'm in the instance. Defaultly, that application scope that I'm seeing, that is already set as a global, as well as update set that is also set as a global. So where you can identify this? So we have an option in the banner, that is a globe symbol. We call that as an application picker. So we call that as an application picker. Whenever if you click on this application picker, it will directly display in which particular in which particular application scope that you are belongs to, as well as in which particular update set that configuration is going to be stored. Okay, so this is how we are going to identify in which application scope that we are going to work on. So as for now, we are not going to build any separate application using application development. So we are not going to work on the application scope. So the topic that we are going to discuss is the updates. So that in part that we need to know how the application scope is also working. So whenever the application scope is same, then only we can move the configurations from one instance to another instance. That's why we always go with the default application scope, that is global. Now let me go and explain you the definition for the update set. So in the update set, we call that as a system update sets. So basically, an update set is a group of configuration changes that can be moved from one instance to another instance. So what is this instance, guys? What is this instance? Firstly, what is this instance? Developer instance that we are using, right? So let me take an example and explain you for you people so that you all can understand very easily how I'm going to describe this particular thing so that it will be easy for everyone to understand. So if you see guys in the picture, it is very clear that so we are working on the developer instance. We are working on the developer instance and the configuration that has been made in that developer instance, the configurations that are made in that particular developer instance are storing into the single update set, and we can move that update set from one instance to another instance. That means whatever the instance that we are using, that may be a developer instance, that may be a production instance, that may be a testing instance. Suppose as a developer, one scenario comes to me where I need to create one separate application for the company. I need to create separate application for the company. Then I can directly create one update set in the developer and start working on the scenario that they give, and I will completely build that application in my instance. So after that, so whereas coming to the other tools, if we want to move this configuration from developer instance to another instance, that is production instance. Okay. So there need to be external application. They need to get within an external application to move the configurations. But whereas coming to the service now, we have a concept called update set that is helping us to store the configurations, and that will directly connect with another instance. That may be a production instance, that may be a testing instance. We can directly connect that instance to our instance and we can move the configuration. We can move the configuration that we build in the instance, that we build in the developer instance. So here, whatever the configurations that are required for the scenario company, so that we build in the development, then after we will move that configurations using update set from one instance to another instance. So then after the production team will take care of the deployment. Okay. Then production team will take care of the deployment by directly installing the configurations that we have sent it to them. So how we are going to do that? So before I'm going to explain you how we are going to manually do that, let me go with the definitions first. Then after I will also tell you what are the different things that we can do in this. Okay. So whereas coming to the update sets allows administrator to group a series of changes into a named update set and then move them as a unit. That means whatever the configurations that we are going to build, so that all configurations will be stored in a single record. That all configurations are going to be stored in a single record that we call as a named set. And we are going to move that configurations from one instance to another instance. So for every instance, defaultly, the default global update set will be selected. So we can't directly move that global update set from one instance to another instance. If we want to move any configurations, we need to create one update set. Then only we can move that configurations from one instance to another instance. Okay. So that is very important, guys. Whenever you are working on the update set, always we need to go with the new update set to store the configuration. Always we need to go with the new update set to store the configurations. Don't use the previous update set. And whereas coming to the update set, that is very helpful for the entire team, those who are using ServiceNow, because that is very easy to load the configurations in that, and we can directly move that configurations from this particular developer instance to the production instance. So for that particularly, what I did is I want to explain that, right? What I did is I have created two instances here. Consider this particular instance with the SmartBridge logo is first instance, that is developer instance. Okay. Consider this particular instance as a developer instance with a SmartBridge logo. And I have one more instance, guys. So that is the second instance. This is the second instance. This is the second instance. This one also having a SmartBridge logo, but here in this particularly, the name of this particular contextual API is ServiceNow. Here this is SN, and you can observe the major difference. That is the major difference I need to tell, right? So the major difference is with the number. That is dev number. You can see that on the top. So this is the dev number. This is the dev number for the first instance. Please remember the dev number because I will always tell this as a first instance, and I will go for the next instance. I will always tell that as a second instance. So the first instance dev number is dev 265869. First instance dev number is 265869. Whereas coming to the second instance dev number is 297175. Whereas coming to the second instance dev number is 297175. That means I am opening two different accounts in my different windows. So I'm considering this particular 297175 instance as the second instance where I'm going to deploy my development that I have created in the developer. Okay, where I'm going to deploy that configurations and I'm going to check as a production user or a testing user. Okay, for that I need to come to the first instance. I need to create one update set. So before going to create that, let me cover the concept. Then after we will start working on the updates. So now we need to know, right, what are the things that are going to be stored in the configuration format on the update set and what are the things that are not able to store in the update set. So please make a snap of this, guys. This is very important because what are the things that are going to store in the update set? What are the things that are not going to store in the update set? That is very important. Okay. So here, things that are going to store in the update set are like business rules, client script, UI policies, fields, forms and sections, reports, tables, views, list configurations, roles, flows, published workflows. So these all things are going to store in the update set. These all things are going to store in the update set in the form of configuration. But whereas coming to the next one, what are the things that are not going to store in the update set? That are like data. We can't store the data. That is nothing but a record. We can't store the record in the update set, and we can't even modify the data changes also. So if you are turning on your update set, if any configurations that you have changed in the record, that means if we are going to change the value in the record, that won't be added to the update set. And even if you create any task also, that won't be added. If you modify CIs also, that won't be added. If you create any user or if you create any group also, that won't be added into the updates. But whereas coming to the role will be added to the updates. And also you can see a few more things are not going to add in the update set that are like schedules, schedule jobs and dashboards. Okay, schedules, schedule jobs and dashboards. So these many things are not going to add in the update set, and in the left side of the screen you are going to see what are the things that are going to add in the update set. So please make a note of this or take a screenshot of this thing because this is very important. This is very important whenever you are working on the update set. So you people need to know, right, what are the configurations that I can move from one instance to another instance. Okay, what are the configurations that I can move from one instance to another instance. So now let me go for the next slide. So this is how we are going to create an update set. This is how we are going to create an update set. I will explain that. So that is all about this one. And then after it is telling about how we can move that from one instance to another instance and how we can do that. Okay. So let me quickly create one update set and let me explain you how we are going to work on that. Okay. Everyone are able to follow me? Guys, everyone are able to follow me? What is updates? Okay, so updates is nothing but it is helping us to store the configurations in that, and also it will help me to move my configurations from one instance to another instance. That means, so in a company there will be a testing team and there will be a production team and there will be a development team, right? So whereas coming to the user stories that is being given by the client, that will be developed by which persons? Developers. That will be developed by developers. Then after, the developer thing that they develop will be tested by testing team. The developer thing that will be tested by testing team. Then after, they will announce what are the changes that are required. Otherwise, they will move that particular configuration to the which one? Directly to the production. So instead of doing that, Instead of doing that, what ServiceNow did is like they created one particular tool in that is update set. It will directly help us to store the configurations. So whereas coming to the companies, what they will do is like they will use third-party applications to map with the configurations that they build. So whereas coming to the ServiceNow, there is no requirement for that because we can directly move our configurations that we created from this instance to another instance using updates. So as a developer, if I want to create something in my instance, I can go with the update set. I can turn on the update set. Then after, whatever the things that I'm going to develop over there, if I create the application, if I create the table, or if I create the form, if I create the list, whatever thing that I'm going to create over there, that I'm going to be added in the update set. Then if I want to move that to the testing team, then I can directly move my update set to the testing team directly. So for that, let me create one update set for now. Let me go back to the first instance. This is the first instance, the dev ID 265869, guys. Please remember that 265869. Now let me go to the all. Here, let me search for update sets. Let me search for update sets. So whenever I'm searching for update sets, there are a list of things that are coming under system updates. There are a list of things coming under system update sets. I will explain each and everything very clearly. But firstly, I'm going to create the update set, right? Firstly, I'm going to create the update set. To create the update set, I need to click on local update sets. To create the update set, I need to click on local update sets. Click on the local update sets. I can see there are a list of default update sets that are working on in our instance. These are the list of global update sets that are working on our instance. And each and every update set that you're seeing over here is having a state in progress. That means whatever the things that we are performing in the instance, that is going to store in that particular update set. Okay. Whatever the things that we are going to update or anything, whatever the configuration that we are building, that will be going to store in the global update sets. Suppose if we want to store the new things that we are going to create. So firstly, what is the best thing that we need to do? We need to create the update set first. Then after we can move the configurations. For that, I need to click on new to create the update set. So whenever I'm clicking on the new, this is the form that is going to open. This is the form that is going to open. So here I can name the update set. So let me name that as test cohort 1. Cohort 2. Test cohort 2. So here guys, what is the main important thing in the update set is like we have three different stages. We have three different stages that are very important. Defaultly, it will select as a in progress. Defaultly, whenever you are going to select the state of the update set, right, that will be selected as in progress. But there are three different stages we can keep the updates. One is in progress. That means whatever the configurations that we are building, that will be storing in that particular update set. If the update set is in progress, then the configurations will load into that. Otherwise, it won't load. So whereas coming to the next stage, that is, so whatever the configurations that we build, if that use case is completed, then we can move our state of update set from in progress to completed, so that whatever the configurations that are required for the scenario is completed for this, and I can use this update set to move my configurations from one instance to another instance. For that particularly, I'm going to use the option stage called complete. And lastly, we have one more thing, that is ignore. So why we mostly use this option is like whenever the configuration that we build that is not required, or whatever the configuration that we build are not matching with the scenario, then we can ignore that update set. So whatever the configurations that was built, that is not going to affect anyone. So this is how we are going to work on the update set. So now let me create one update set. So the name of the update set, I'm making that as cohort, test cohort. Then after, I'm not going to give any description over here, but here we have two options, guys. Here we have two options. One is submit and one is submit and make current. So whereas coming to clicking on the submit, That means we are going to save the record in the table. But if you click on submit and make current, then whatever the update set that you created, that will be automatically active. Whatever the update set that you created, that will be automatically active. So for that, I'm going to click on submit and make current. So you can see the changes also, guys. You can see the changes also. For the application picker, one red circle has been popped up. One for the application picker, one red circle is got allocated, and our update set that we are created, that is test cohort, that is active now. That is in the in progress state. That is going to store the configuration. You can check that now. So if I click on the application picker, you can see update set name is been changed as test cohort. That is the update set we created, right? That is the update set we created. So now whatever the configurations that I'm going to build, that is going to store in the update set. Whatever the configurations that I'm going to build now, that is going to store in the update set. So let me create one table and let me show you how that is going to store in the update set. Okay. So for that, let me click on all and search for what I need to search for tables, to create a table and to search for tables, right? So let me click on the tables, that is under system definition, click on tables. Now let me create one sample table so that you people can understand how that update set is going to store the data, how that update set is going to store the data. So you all can see the update set is active now. Okay, so let me create a new table here with the name sample data. So let me create with the name sample data. Sample data. So then after, I'm not extending this table from any of the tables. I'm just leaving that as a default. I'm not going to create even field also. I'm not going to create even a field also. Okay, so let me click on submit. So let me show you guys whether the table is created or not. So let me search for the table sample data. You can see the name that I have given to the table that has been there. That means the table that is sample data table is been created with the name sample data. Okay. So now I'm going to open the update set that we created. For that, let me go to the local update sets. Local update sets. Click on that local update sets. Here the update set that we created is test cohort, right? Open that. Open that. Then after, you can see, guys, in the related links, we can see one related section name with the customer updates. One related section name with the customer updates. So whatever the configurations that you are going to do, whatever the configurations that we are going to do in our instance, I told that all will automatically store in the updates. You can see, right? There are 16 updates that I have stored now. There are 16 updates that are automatically stored in my update set. You can see. So application menu is created with the sample data. So one application is created, one module is created, one table is created. For that table, one dictionary table is created, and one field is also created, and 4 ACLs also created. For each and every ACL, there will be separate role for that ACL. You can see 4 ACLs roles also, and one more application, one more module, one more role is also created. So this is the last one is the table role, and last two are for the mobile versions. So whenever you are creating the table, right, we have two checkboxes over there. We have two checkboxes over there. One is for directly creating the application in the instance that we are using, that in the web. So if you want to create application for the mobile, we can go for the next checkbox that is having over there while creating the table. So if you are unable with the two checkboxes, then it will create two applications for you. One is for the instance that we are using now, one is for the mobile version. Okay. So whenever we are going to create any table, these many things are created automatically. Whenever we create any table, these many things that are automatically created. Got it, guys? Got it? Any doubts until now? Any doubts until now, guys? Any doubts, everyone? That is clear, right? Whatever the thing that I'm explaining now. Is that clear, everyone? I think no one is responding to me in the chat. I think so. Everyone, please try to respond to me in the chat so that that will be helping me to go forward. Clear, clear, clear. Thank you. Thank you for the response. So I will also create one more update set. No need to worry. Don't ask for that. Okay. So I will also create one more update set that is going to help others to observe about update set. How we are going to create that, how that is going to store the configuration. Okay. So now guys, now what I'm doing is like whatever the configurations that I have created that are already stored in this particular update set, I thought that that is more than enough to close this update set. I thought that that is more than enough to close this update set. So then what I'm doing is like I'm moving my state of this update set. I'm moving my state of this update set from in progress state to complete state. In progress state to complete state. So before going to move that, before that moving, I'm going to move that. What is the thing that I want to do is like what is the thing I want to show is like in the related links, guys, you can see there are only two links. One is for merge with another update set, one is for scan the update set. So before I'm moving this one to, these are the only two related links that I have. After moving my state from in progress to complete, then you can see few more changes will appear over there. So let me click on save. Guys, you got the next option that is export to XML. So we got the extra option that is export to XML. So that means what is the thing that is given over here is like whenever we are working on the update set, if we want to move these configurations from this instance to another instance, so the dev number, the first instance is dev 265869. So if I want to move these configurations, then I need to make the changes of that update set from in progress state to complete state. I need to make a changes of that update set from in progress state to complete state. That is very mandatory. Okay, that is very mandatory to move these configurations from this instance to another instance. So before that also I want to tell that. So after changing my update set from in progress state to complete state, you can see here to this there is a red circle allocated for this, right? Now you can see there is no red circle over here. There is no red circle over here. So that confirmed that whenever we are closing our update set, that means whenever we are moving our configurations of an update state from in progress to complete, that confirms there is no intake of data, there is no intake of configurations, and we are moving with the configurations that are completed. Okay, so now let me move these configurations, the table that I have created, sample table, to the next instance. So before I'm going to move that, let me open the second instance here. So let me show you that this is the second instance, guys. This is the second instance. So we do having the dev number 297175. So let me go to the all. Let me search for the table here. Sample. Let me search for the table that is sample data. So you can see, right? You can see there is no table with the name sample data now. So there is no particular table with the name sample data. Okay. So now let me change that. So for that, the first step I need to follow is like I need to I need to go to the export to XML, whatever the configurations that is been performed in this update set, that is moving to the XML file. Let me click on this. Automatically, it will download one file for me. You can check that it is downloaded one file for me. Now I'm going back to the second instance here. Now I'm going back to the second instance. From here, I'm just clicking on the all, and from here, I'm going to use first method to retrieve the records. First method to retrieve the records, that is retrieve update set. So the first method to retrieve the configurations from one instance to another is retrieve update set. Okay, so let me search for that. Let me search for retrieve update set. This is the retrieved update set. Click on that. So whenever I'm clicking on that, it will show one link at the related links. It will show one link at the related links. I need to click on this link, import to update set. Then after, I need to choose the file. So the file that I have downloaded in the previous instance, I'm going to use that file as my reference. Okay. So for that, let me click on this choose file. And from the downloads, let me choose the file that I have downloaded from the first instance. Open that. That is uploaded perfectly fine. Let me upload that particular file to the instance. Upload it. So after uploading that, it will show the update set that we have created in the previous instance. Okay. So this is the update set name, right? That is test code. This is the update set name, that is test code. Okay. So I need to move these particular configurations that are there in this update set to the instance that I'm using now. Okay. So for that, I need to open the update set that is retrieved. Okay. That is test code. And from that, we need to check the first option, that is preview update set. So we need to click on the preview update set. It do check for any data matching is there or not. So whatever the configurations that are coming from the previous instance, that is the first instance, right? So we have created one table with the name sample, right? Sample data. So if that particular field is already there in my instance, okay. So if that particular table is already there in my instance, then it won't allow me to store the data. It will throw the error whenever I'm clicking on the preview update set. So that's why always click on the preview update set. It will check for the configurations, whether the configurations that are there in this instance is going to match with the configurations that are coming from first instance. Okay. So after clicking on the preview, okay, preview, then we have an option called to commit this update set. So whenever we click on this commit update set, we can see the changes that I have made in the first instance. So before that, let me search and show you. Go to the all and let me search for the sample data once again. So you can see I can't find the table. I can't find the table. So let me click on commit update set. Then after you will find whatever the configurations that I build in the first instance, now it will be shown in the second instance. Okay. So now I got the 100% succeeded message. Now whatever the updated configurations that are loaded is gone updated into this instance. Okay. So you can see now I'm in the second instance with the dev number 297175. Okay. So let me go to the all and search for the table now. So if I am searching for the table name sample data, now I'm able to see that particular table. Got it? Got it, everyone? Sorry, let me go with this. Yeah. Everyone understood? That easy? That easy, guys? This is the first way where we are going to retrieve the records from the update set. Okay. This is the first way where we are going to retrieve the records from the update set. So before I'm going to explain the second way, how I can retrieve the update set. Okay. Before I'm going to explain the second way, let me mention you all people that everyone should start working on the now learning account. Okay. I think everyone already created the now learning account, but no one even started the modules. No one even started the modules that are assigned to you people. You can check the mail or you can directly search for that in the now learning itself. So whatever the links that I'm going to share in the Telegram group, please try to complete that task. Okay. So please try to complete that task. That is very, very important. So to get a certificate or to be a part of career fair, you people need to complete that three courses. Okay, you need to complete that three courses. And the advantages of completing these three courses are like, one is you are going to receive a certificate from the Smart Bridge that you are going to successfully completed your virtual internship program. Then after, we are going to give one voucher for you people. That is the validation of around $300. That is the validation around $300. That is helpful for you people to go for the global exam, global certification for the system administrator. That is the second advantage. And the third advantage is like, so there is a career fair that is going to happen at the August. There is a career fair that is going to happen at the August first week or second week. So if you people already completing that, before that, if you are also go with the exam, if you also go with the exam, CSA exam, that is global certification, then you will be a part of career fair. You will be also a part of career fair. So guys, these are the three different advantages that you have, and these three are very huge advantages for you. Okay, so each and everything is very valid, and you can use that to the fullest. Okay, so that's why please try to complete the modules as early as possible. If you have any kind of doubts, please ask us in the Telegram group. You can check that three courses that I have shared in the Telegram group that should be completed. Whether you got the mail, whether you're not getting the mail, or you are not going to see that properly, whatever the thing it may be. Okay, so please go with the completion of these three courses. Telegram link, yeah, definitely I'm going to share the Telegram link once again. Let me share the Telegram group link. So after the session also, I'm going to share the modules once again, as well as I'm going to share the recording links also. Okay, I'm going to share the recording link also. Okay, recording link also will be shared after the session, guys. I'm going to definitely share the link of the drive where every recording has been there. Okay. We are creating tables. I'm just showing how the configuration is going to store, how the configuration is going to store in that. Okay. So table is one of the configuration, right? Table is one of the configuration, form is one of the configuration, list is one of the configuration. So that's why I created one sample table to show how that is working. Okay. So now let me create one more update set, one more update set. In that particular update set, I'm going to store additional things. Okay. That is field, form, list. Okay. So these are the things that I'm going to store in that. And I will also show you whether update set is going to store the records or not. Update set is going to store the records or not. So for that, let me go back to the first instance once again. This is the first instance, right? This is the first instance. So before going to configure something, I need to create the update set first. Because if I'm not creating any update set, it won't store the data in that. If I'm not creating any update set, it won't store the configuration in that. So for that particularly, I need to go to the new and create a new update set to store the configurations. Click on new, then after naming this as test subject. Okay, naming this particular update set as test subject. Now let me click on submit and make current so that it will automatically active, and whatever the configuration that I build will be stored in this particular update set. So let me click on submit and make current. Okay, so now my update set is active. Still you can check that, guys. I'm working in the first instance with the name dev ID 265869. Okay, So now let me click on application picker to show you in which update set I'm working on. In which update set I'm working on. Now I'm in the test update set. Okay. So now let me go to the table that I created, that is sample data. So we have created one table, right? Let me go to the table. So in this particular table, I haven't created any field. I haven't created any field. So let me create few fields over here. Let me click on new, use the form layout to create the fields fastly. Okay. So go to the context menu. Then after config, click on the form layout to create the fields. So now let me create fields with the names like test1, add test2, add test3. So these are the different fields that I'm creating, guys. Okay. To show you how the configurations are going to store in the instance. Okay. So now I have created 4 fields. One is with the name test1, next one is test2, next one is test3, the last one is test4. So now the fields are created in the form, that too in the sample data table. You can check that. Okay. So now what I'm doing is like I'm going to create one record over here. So let me create one record over here. Test1 is the record name. Click on submit. You can see one record is created. So let me go back. Sample data. So now you can see one record is created. That particular record name is test1. Let me add the fields over here using personalized list so that I can identify what is the values inside that particular fields. Okay. So let me drag this created to the last position. Click on OK. So now you can see I have only created one record with the name test1. So let me create a few more records. Even though my update set active, guys, even though my update set is active. So please check that I'm doing that while my update set is in active state. Let me click on submit. Then after, let me go and create few more records. Okay. So for that, I'm going to create one more record with the name test3 for the test3 field. Mention as this one 3. Click on submit. And let me mention this empty as 2. Date. So let me create last record as test4. This is the sample data that I'm giving in this particular table, sample data table. Okay. So the demo data has been loaded over here in the sample table. Now let me add some configurations also. Let me add some configurations also so that we can identify how the configurations are going to add in the update set. How the configurations are going to add in the update sets. For that, I need to open the form once again. So let me add the configurations like test2 field should be a mandatory field. Test2 field should be a mandatory field. For that, go to the config dictionary, click on the field name, go to the config dictionary and make that particular field as a mandatory field. Make that particular field as a mandatory field and update the changes. Now you can see we have made it a test2 field mandatory field. It was not loaded yet. Let me do that once again. Config dictionary. Then after, choose the option mandatory. Then after, update the configuration so that it will reflect on the form. Also, I'm making the test3 field as a read-only field, guys. Okay. I'm also making the test3 field as a read-only field. Let me do that. Same procedure. Go to the config dictionary and then after, go for the read-only option. Then update the configurations. So you can see in this particular update set, what are the things that we have performed? Firstly, we have created 4 fields. We have created 4 fields in the sample data table. Sample data table. So the field names are like test1, test2, test3, test4. And I have made some configurations for 2 fields in that particular table that are like I have created a field read only, that is test3 field. I have created a field mandatory, that is test2 field. So after that, let me go back and show you what are the other things that we have performed over here. So also we created 4 records in the table. Also we created 4 records in the table. So now let me move these configurations that I have created to the first table. Sorry, second instance. Let me move these configurations that I have created to the second instance. Now we are working in the first instance, right? So let me open the second instance here. This is the second instance. So let me go to the sample data. So here if you see guys, there is no sample tables, fields that are there for this table. So you can check it out. There is no fields in this particular table. Even if I click on new also, I can't find any field as per now. Okay. So now let me move that particular configurations that I have created in the first instance to the second instance. For that, let me go to the first instance. Whatever the update state that is in the in progress state, we need to move that state from in progress to the complete to move this particular configuration that we have created to the second instance. So first, let me do that. So before I'm going to change that, let me open the update set, local update set. Let me show you what are the configurations that are loaded. Click on the local update set. So this is the update set that we are working on, right? That is test subject. Click on that. So you can see in the customer updates, we are going to identify what are the changes that we have performed. In the customer updates, we are going to identify what are the different changes that we have performed. So we have used form layout. Okay. We have used form layout and we have created fields. Okay. And also we have created some configurations for the fields. So it is very clearly mentioned over here. So now you can check it out. There is no data specific thing is been mentioned. That means we have created records also. We already created records also, but there is no specific thing for the records that is going to store in this particular table. There is no specific things that are helping me to store in this particular table. So now let me go and close this state from in progress to the update, and let me move this particular configurations that I have created in the first instance to the second instance so that we can check what are the configurations that are stored in the instance and what are the things that can be moved from the instance to instance. Okay. So let me move the state from in progress to update, that is complete. Then after save the form to see the changes on the form. Then we can see one change that is in the related links. Okay. So now we got an option export to XML. So previously when I'm explaining about the update set, we have used this option export to XML, right? So let me use the same option. Then after I'm going to create one more update set to explain different option guys. Okay. So let me use the same option, export to XML. So now I got the file that is downloaded. So let me go back to the second instance. So to retrieve the configurations that was created in the first instance, we need to go to the all and we need to search for retrieve update set. Retrieve update sets. So from here, we need to click on this link that is related link that is helping us to import the update set XML file. This is helping us to import the update set XML file. Click on that and then after choose the file here. This is a file that is downloaded recently. In that particularly we have configurations that are loaded. Open that and upload it. So now we got a new update set in this particular second instance that is with the name test subject. So particularly if you see guys, if you click on that, it will show the configurations that are coming from the first instance. It will show the configurations that are coming from the first instance. But if you want to see the changes, the first step that we need to do is like we need to go with the preview update set. What happens if you click on the preview update set? It will check for the validations, like whatever the data that we are getting from the different instances, like whether that is going to match with the configurations that are there in my instance. It will check that. So if that is matching with my instance, then it will throw the error. Then it will throw the error. Okay. So let me go for the preview update set to check the data configurations. Here I got the error, guys. What is the error? Let me see that error. This is not a big error, guys. It is telling that whatever the update set time that we give, that is already in the instance. So that is not going to affect my configuration. So I have deleted the error. Then after I'm going to commit the changes. You can commit update set. Now it got committed my update set configurations into the second instance. Okay. So there is no errors. That's why it got committed. So even though if you delete the error, if there is an errors in the update set that you are going to perform, it is going to interact with any other configurations that are there in the instance, then it won't commit your update set. It won't commit your update set. So in the previous thing that you have observed the error, that is the with the name that is been given to the update set. So that is not a big issue. So that's why I have deleted the update set. So let me close this committed update set. Then after open the table that is sample data. Open the table that is sample data to show you what are the things that are configured and that is going to store in the update set are moving into the update set from one instance to another instance. So let me search for sample data. So this is a table that we created sample data. So you can see guys, there is no records in this particular page. There is no records in this particular page. That means whatever the records that we have created, whatever the records that we have created using the update set, that is not helping me to store the records. That is not helping me to store the records. But if you go for the new form, that means whatever the fields that we created, whatever the fields and what are the properties that are additionally we have added to the fields that are nothing but configurations, but that are loaded into the update set. That means update set is going to store the configurations. Update set is going to store the configurations. Update set is not going to store the records. Update set is not going to store the records. So here we have confirmed that how this particular update set is going to store the data. So we have a sheet, right? So these are the things that are going to store in the update set, and these are the things that are not going to store in the update set. Okay, you can check it out. So now let me go back to the place and let me quickly create one more update set to show the second way how we can retrieve the update set. So previously we have using single option where we need to download the file, then after we need to import that file to the second instance, right? We need to import that file into the second instance. So whereas coming to the second way, there is no such kind of download option. There is no such thing called download. We are directly connecting with our instances. We are directly making a connection between the instances and we are directly calling the update set. Okay. So how we are going to do that? So let me do that. So before going to connect my instance with the second instance, so let me create one update set, one more update set, create one more update set. Let me add some configuration in that and I will show you how that is going to work. Let me click on new. So here the name of the update set is cohort, cohort test. So submit and make current so that this particular update set should be active and should load the configuration that I have built. Okay. So now let me go to the all. Yeah, there are a lot of questions in the Q&A. So I will answer that after the explanation, guys. Okay. You can answer these questions after the explanation. So let me go with the second way, how we are going to add the configurations from one instance to another instance. Okay. So let me go and create one more update set. Okay. So we have created one more update set that is with the name cohort test. Okay. You can see that is active now. So let me add some configurations into that. So let me simply create one more table. Let me simply create one more table over here. The tables. Here I'm making the table name as sample 2. Sample 2. The table name is sample 2, guys. Okay. So let me click on submit. I'm just creating table. That means whenever the table is created, lot of things automatically creates that will is going to store in the update set. That all things are going to store in the update set. That is fine. Okay. So now as coming to this update set, the update set work is to store the table. Okay. So now I have created that table. You can check that. Let me check the table whether table is created or not. Sample 2. Yeah. Now sample 2 table is created. So now let me go to the second instance. Now let me go to the second instance. Okay. So here to go with the second method to call the configurations from first instance. So previously what we did, we went to the retrieve update sets. We went to the retrieve retrieved update set, then clicked on that, and then after we have option to link. We have options to link an update set. We have to click on that update set link. Then after whatever the file that we have downloaded, we have just moved that particular file to this instance, and then after uploaded it and moved this configurations from preview state to committed state to see the changes in my instance. Now what I'm doing, I'm going to explain you the second way I'm going to move my configurations from one instance to another. So now this is the first instance. I have made my configurations that already stored in the cohort test. Okay. So cohort test is the update set name. In this particularly, I have created one table with the name sample 2. Okay. So now what I'm doing to explain the second method, we need to go to the all. Here, let me search for update source. Update sources. Let me click on the update sources. So after clicking on the update source, then it will show you a option to create a record. After clicking on the update source, it will open the table with the name remote instance. It will open the table with the name remote instance. In this particularly, we are going to create a record where we are going to connect our instance here. So we have first instance, right, where we are going to build the configurations. In this particularly, we are going to link that first instance credentials over here to connect these two instances, and whatever the update says that is built in the first instance, we can directly call that first configurations directly using this remote instance. Okay. So for that, I need to create a new record. In that, I'm going to store something. So let me click on create new. So here I'm giving the name of the remote instance as first instance. So first instance. So I'm just naming that as first instance. Here there are few mandatory things that I need to fill. That is URL, then after username and password. So from where I can get that? So for that, I need to go to the first instance. ServiceNow website page, go to the user menu, then I can see manage instance password. Click on that. There itself I can find the URL as well as username and password of the instance that we are using, right? So let me copy instance. So this is the second instance. I have copied the link of the first instance and I have pasted that. Now I need to paste the username, paste it over here. Then after copy the password, paste it over here. Okay. So now after giving the credentials, guys, after giving the credentials, the first main thing that we need to do is like we need to test the connection. First main thing that we need to do is like we need to test the connection. Click on test connection to check the connection between these two instances, whether that is going to match with the instances or not. So if you are in the different versions, if you are in the different versions, what happens is like it won't connect your instance with each other instance. Okay. If you are using different instances, it won't connect with your instance. So that's why go with the versions. Always try to use the versions that you are using. Okay. So that means now the first instance version is Xanadu and the second instance version is also a Xanadu. That's why it is connected my instances. Okay. So that means whenever we are connecting our instances to using to call the update set. So we need to check that we are in the same version. We are in the same version. Okay. So we need to give the credentials. After that, we need to click on submit. So it is done. Now we have got a connection between first instance and second instance. Second instance is the instance that I'm using now. In the second instance only, I have created the link. In the second instance only, I have created the link with the name first instance. Okay. So now what I need to do is like I need to open this one. I need to open the is this one particular remote instance that I have created. Then after you can see a lot of things are there. One is retrieve completed update sets. Retrieve completed update set option. So if I click on this, automatically it will fetch whatever the update sets that we have in the first instance. Okay, whatever the updates that are created in the first instance, it will automatically fetch the records from that particularly. Okay, that too, it will check whatever the sets that are in the complete state. Whatever the update sets that is going to fetch here that are in the complete state. So now let me move this particular update set to the complete state. Okay. So now we are working in one update set. Now we are working in one update set that is in the instance one. Okay. So we have created one update set with the name test code. So now I'm not going to change the configurations over here. So that means I'm not moving my update set to the what happens. Let me click on it. So it is loading that. It is checking for the completed update sets. It is checking for the completed update sets. Then it is going to show the result. So now you can see it is displaying the records. But there is no completed update set as for now. There is no completed update set as for now. And whatever the completed update sets that we have previously, whatever the completed update sets that we have previously in the first instance that are already loaded in this instance. That's why the names that we created previously, two names, two update sets that are not displaying over here. Okay, that are not displaying over here. That is the main reason. Okay, so now let me move to the first instance and complete this update stage to update set stage to completed. Okay, so let me go to the all and let me search for local update set. There the update sets will be available, right? Click on that. After that, go to the update set that we created and move the changes. That means move the stage from in progress to complete. Then after click on update. So moving my moving my state from in progress to complete, then you can see then in the application picker that we change it to the default global one, and whatever the configuration that I have stored in the global so cohort test is complete. Okay, now I'm just not going to open that and not going to click on the export to XML file. Now what I'm doing is like I'm going to the second instance. I'm again clicking on the retrieve complete update set. I'm again clicking on the button retrieve completed update sets. Let me click on that button. Now it will fetch the records from the first instance. It will fetch the records from the first instance that to the completed update sets. Let me close this. Now you can see one more extra section is added over here in the related links. Let me click on that. You can see whatever the update set that we have created in the first instance now is available in the second instance. Here we haven't used option to import update set. We have directly used a button over here to call the update set. We have used a button to call the update set. That means whenever we are using the second method, what happens is like whatever the instance that we have, if you consider that that is the second instance, then we can automatically use that instance to connect with the first instance. Whatever the changes that they do in the first instance, if they are using the update set, if you want to push that configurations in the second instance, we can connect that particular instances to two instances. Then we can use the single button to call the configurations. We can use a single button to call the configurations directly. So here we are not going to share any file. We are not going to download any file. We are directly using the single button to call the update set. So now let me open this and commit the changes. Let me open this and commit the update set to see the changes. Now I have committed the update set. So in the update set cohort test, we have created one table that is with the name sample2. In the update set that what we created, we have created one table with the name cohort2. So now let me check whether that particular table is being given in this particular instance or not. So let me go to the all and let me search for my table that is sample2. So you can see guys, whatever the table that I have created in the first instance, now I'm going to use that in the second instance. Now I'm going to use that in the second instance by just calling the configurations from the update set. So how many of you people understood the second way of creating, guys? How many of you people understood the second way of calling the configurations? How many of you people understood the second way of easy, right? So the best way is like always go with the second way. So the best way is like always go with the second way, that is update source. So what happens if you use the update source is like we can connect with the one more instance. We can connect with the one more instance where in that in the first instance we are developing something. In the second instance we are just calling that particular configuration using a single button. So instead of using that second way, what happens if you use the first way is like, so there is some risk over there. So there is some risk over there. We need to always download that and we need to move that particular file that we have downloaded to the second person where that person is going to retrieve that. Where that person is going to retrieve that. That's why what we need to do, we need to always go with the second option. That is the best way if you are working continuously. Okay. Rather than that, if you are using only single time, if you are going for the single time, then we can directly go with the retrieve update set. We can go with the retrieve update set. So if you are going with the second way, that means if you are going with the second option, that will be best when we are working multiple times on the update set. We are working on the multiple times on the update set. Try to go with the second way. Okay. So got it, guys? Everyone understood? So now you can ask your questions. Then after I need to explain some more things that are there in the update set. Yeah, definitely, Kiran. I'm going to take one more example. No problem. Which one is the best for security wise? Whether directly give the admin credentials, right? Shiva, that is a very good question. Basically, what we are doing is like, so as coming to the organization wise, if you think what happens is like we are giving the user credentials. We are giving the user credentials instead of admin credentials. Think from the user side. Okay. So if you go for the organization, each and every person do have their own credentials. They are not going to provide admin credentials for them. Okay. So we are just connecting with one developer account that is being used by a user. Okay. So we are going to connect with the testing team. That's it. And we have one more question. Can we set or assign configurations to any previous update sets, or it is required to create a new update set? So Manikanta, that is also very good question. So whatever the update set that we have created, right, guys? Okay, whatever the update sets that we have created, if we are moving that state of the update set from in progress state to complete, if we are moving the state of that update set from in progress to complete, then we can't move that particular configurations once again. Even we can change that. So even we can open that update set and we can change the state of that update set to in progress, but it won't accept the configurations that are changing. It won't accept the configurations that we are changing in that. Okay, got the clarity, guys? Any more questions in the update sets? Let me continue with the topic. Any more questions? Any more questions, everyone? Everyone already clear with the topic? While I'm explaining, I think a lot of questions I saw in the Q&A, but now no one is asking the questions. Why? Yeah. So once if we make the update set from in progress state to complete state, even though we can change that back to the in progress, but it won't accept the configurations. It won't accept the configuration. We can move that button. So we can, that is a drop down, right? That is a field, that is a drop down. Okay, we can select that from the in progress state to complete, and we can change that back to the in progress also. But what happens is like it won't accept the configurations if we are moving that from complete state to in progress. So difference between update set and application. Update set is for moving the configurations from one instance to another instance, whereas coming to the application, that is nothing but a container where it is going to help to store multiple tables in the form of a module. I just tried, I didn't get any errors. That's great. That's great. But it won't accept the configuration. You can move that. So let me move that. Okay. So let me move that. Now this update set is in the complete state, right? So let me open that update set and let me move that one back to the in progress and update. You can see, right? I have changed my update set progress to in progress. Now the update set that I have created, that is in the cohort update set, right? That is created now. Okay. But I have changed the configuration of state. Previously it is in the complete state. Now I have made that as an in progress state. But you can see, right, there is no active update set on that particular application picker. That means if you change the state from complete to in progress once again, it won't allow us to move the configurations in that update set. Okay, got the clarity? Or the tables we created in this one update set is visible in the another update set? No, no, no. That in that update set only that are going to store. Okay. So I have completed my CSS. That's so how to say which data can captured by update set and which is not, why reasons. So there are some limitations. That's why it is not capturing the records that we created, and whatever the users, whatever the groups that we create, that is also not going to be captured by the update set. But whereas coming to the role or table configurations that we create, applications may be, module may be, that may be a dictionary override, that may be a dot working, that may be a reference field, whatever the thing that we are going to work on the configurations that are going to load in the updates. At a time, whether only one update set should be in the progress. No, no, no. We can do multiple update set at a time. We can work on multiple updates at a time. No need to make one update set as in progress. At a time, can we connect with the multiple instances? Yeah, definitely. We can connect with multiple instances using remote instance method. That is the second way that I told, right? That is the best way. So that's why testing people always use this one. Any more questions, guys? Can we go with the next concept that we have? That is something is left in the update set. Let me tell that. Okay. So whereas coming to the update set, okay. Whereas coming to the update set, we have two types of update sets. Okay. We have two types of update sets that are one is batch update set, one is merge update set. Okay. So let me explain you that. That is not there in the PPT. Okay, no problem. So whereas coming to the update sets, we have two types of update sets. Let me show you first. Okay. So the first way of using the update set, like first type of update set are merge update sets. So why basically we use this merge update set is like, so consider that we are working under one team of people. Okay. So where the work is divided with the 10 people, where the work is divided with the 10 people, but 10 people are using the same instance, 10 people are using the same instance with the same credentials. So whatever the work they are going to do, they need to store that in the update set. Okay, they are going to store that in the update set. Then after then after what we are doing is like, so whatever the testing team they want, that is been divided into the 10 works. Okay, 10 people work. Then the 10 people work is been created with the 10 different update sets, 10 different update sets. Then after, as a team lead, okay, as a team lead, what I will do is like, I will merge all those update sets and make one update set from that. I will merge all those update sets and I will make one update set from that, and I will move that update set from my instance to the testing people, from my instance to the testing people. So that's way, so that way we can easily move the configurations that are created in the instance. Okay, so let me open this merge update sets to show how it is going to work. Okay, so whenever if you open that merge update sets, it will ask to give the name for the update set. Okay, so it is already defaultly selected as merged update set. If you want to change the name of that update set, we can change. Then after, from this particular filter, we can select which update set that we want to. Okay, so we need to apply the filter. Then after applying the filter, we can check which update set we want to select. No, that should be in the complete state. So if you want to merge these update sets, select the filter and search for that filters. Then after these two are there, so now click on merge updates. Then automatically it will create one more update set by merging these two update sets. It will create one more update set by merging these two update sets. The update set name is merge update set. The update set name is merge set. Okay, this is how we are going to work on the update sets. Sorry, merge update sets. This is how we are going to work on the merge update sets. And whereas coming to the one more type that we have, that is batch updates. Whereas coming to the one more type that we have, that is batch update sets. So how we are going to work on the batch update set? So whenever we are working on the merge update set, we have separate link for that, right? We clicked on the link and we have filtered out the list of update set that we have, and we have clicked on the button merge to create one separate update set for us by merging the update sets. Okay, by merging the updates. Guys, if you observe that after I'm merging the update sets, after I'm merging the update set, whatever the update set that we created, right? That whatever the updates that we created, the state of that update set got changed to the ignore. That means we are not going to use this particular update set once again. We are not going to use this particular update sets once again. Okay, so that will happen whenever we merge the update set. Also, we have one more thing, that is second type of an update sets, that is batch update sets. That is batch update sets. How we are going to create that? So for that, we can go over the new. Let me create one update set with the name batch update set. Batch update set. So I'm just naming as batch update set. Let me click on submit and correct, or submit, no problem. Let me click on submit and correct. So here, when I'm going to create the next update set, when I'm going to create the next update set, here in the parent section, I'm going to use the update set that has been there for me. That is there, that is previously created. So here what happens, here for the batch update set 2, the batch update set will act as a parent. The batch update set will act as a parent, and whatever the configurations that are going to store in the different update sets, that we can choose on ourselves. That's our choice. Okay, let me click on submit. Let me click on submit. So from here, I'm going to click on new, and let me add one more update set, that is update set 3, and that is also under batch update set. So now for these two update sets, the parent update set is batch update set. For these two update sets, the parent update set is batch update set. So now what happens is like, whereas coming to the batch update set, whenever we are moving the changes, whenever we are moving the changes in the parent, that means if I move the change, if I change the state of the parent update set from in progress state to complete, then automatically the child update sets will also will be changed. That means the child update sets will won't allow to store the configuration. That means child update sets also not going to store in the configurations. Okay, let me move that first. Let me click on this particular state and let me change from in progress to complete to show you how these two particular update sets that are related to the parent are going to change. Okay, click on save. Now the parent update set is in the complete state. Let me refresh the page. You can see automatically the child update sets that are related to the parent also moved from in progress state to complete state. So these are the two ways that we have in the update set. One is batch update set, that is basically works as a parent and child. Whereas coming to the second one, that is merge update set. So suppose if you are building multiple update sets to store the single scenario that has been created in that particular update sets, we can merge them and we can make one update set from particular update set. Okay. So these are the two different types of update set, guys. So any more doubts? If you want to ask, you can ask me. Any more doubts, anyone? Oh, screen is not visible. Sorry. Let me share that. From which part of that it is not visible? Can anyone tell me? From beginning. Okay. So let me explain you both types, how that is going to work. Okay. How that are going to work. Then I will wait for the questions. Okay. So basically, whereas coming to the update sets, we have two types of update sets, how that are going to work. So one is merge update sets. To create a merge update set, we need to have a update sets in the complete state or in progress state. That doesn't matter. But to create an update set, merge update set, we need to click on the this particular option, merge update sets. Then after it will display all the records. It will display all the records in the update set. It will display all the records in the update set. Then after we can apply the filter. Then after we can apply the filter and we can choose which particular records that should be involved in this particular merge update set. Which particular records that should be involved in this particular update set that we are going to merge. Okay, so I'm naming that as merge update set. Okay, sample. This is the update set name that I'm going to name. So in this particular update set, I'm going to merge these three update sets. I'm going to merge these three update sets. So let me click on merge to do that. Now what happens? Whatever the configurations that are stored in the each and every update set that you can see, batch update set 1, batch update set 2, batch update set 3. So all the configurations are going to set in the single update set. So for that, we need to click on OK. Then it will be changed. Okay. So automatically one update set is created with the name merge update set sample, that is in progress state. That means we can add even more configurations in that. And also you can see whenever we are making our update set, whenever we are making our update set from in progress state, okay, sorry, whenever we are using merge update set, then automatically what happens is like the state of the update set that we have picked to make the merge update set, that state will be made as an ignore. The state of the update set will be changed to the ignore state, because whatever the configurations that are built in this particular separate update sets that are not going to use now, that are not going to use. Instead of that, what we are using directly, we are going to use merge update set sample. Okay, that is one way. The second way is like we need to click on new. We need to click on new. I'm just naming the update set as batch update set. For that, I'm going to create one update set here, that is parent. Let me create one update set with the name parent. Click on submit. So now I have created one update set, right? That is with the name parent. So now let me create one more update set to create the childs of that parent. Okay. So from here, we have one particular field that is with the name parent. From here, I need to choose that parent. Okay. So this is the parent record that I have created. Okay. So whatever the configurations that I'm going to store in the parent, that will be stored in the parent. Whatever the configurations that I'm going to store in the child one, that is going to store in the child one. But here, whereas coming to the batch update set, but here, whereas coming to the batch update set, what happens is like if I change the state, if I change the state of a parent, if I change the state of a parent, then automatically the child also will be changing the state from in progress to complete. So let me see that. Okay. So now you can see the child one, child two, or the two update set having different configurations. As for now, I'm not added any configurations over here, but I'm just explaining you how I'm going to do that. Okay. So consider that in the child one, there are some configurations, and in the child two, there are some more configurations. Okay. So as coming to the parent, it is also handling some other configurations. Now, if I change the state of the parent, if I change the state of the parent from in progress state to complete, then automatically what happens is like, so what are the related update sets that is having to the parent? That means child one and child two update sets also will move back to the complete state. Also, that will be moved to the complete state. Let me refresh the page to see that. Okay, so you can see that, right? So whenever we are making my parent update set from in progress state to complete state, automatically it is going to change the state of a child update set also from in progress state to complete. So got the clarity, guys, how that is going to work? Got the clarity how that is going to work? Please say yes or no, guys. Everyone should respond to me. Is that clear? Is that clear? Everyone can understand, right? Yeah. So we have 10 more minutes in the class, guys. We have 10 more minutes in the class. So if you have any kind of queries that you want to ask, you can ask me. If you want to ask any kind of queries that you want to ask until the topics that we have discussed until now, if you want to ask any topic, you can ask me. Any doubt, if you want to ask, you can ask me. Because we have 10 more minutes, I can answer the questions. So what is the best practice for the named update set? Basically, Shiva, when we use why we use this update set is like to move the configurations from developer team to production teams or developer team to testing teams. They the best use will appear. Is the examination mandatory to get the certificate? No, no, no. Examination is not mandatory, but we are providing the vouchers, right? We are providing the vouchers for you all people after completion of the course. That means you can write the exam. That is going to help you for the career fair. Yeah, Harshita, that is very easy. What you need to do is like, we need to open the second instance. We need to open the second instance. In that, I need to search for update source. Okay, update source. Click on that, and here I need to create the record. Then after, I need to mention the credentials of the first instance. I need to mention the credentials of the first instance. Then after, check the connection, and click on submit. It will show one button, same like little link that is there in the retrieve update set. It will show one button that is retrieved completed update set. Click on that directly. Then it will directly open the list of records that are in the complete state. Okay. Um, Sir, send all the courses for the. sources do for the industry. Yeah, definitely, Tarun. I'm going to share that in the Telegram group once again. Okay, you can check that. So could you explain? Could you please explain continue with the same topic tomorrow? Yeah, definitely, Arun. No problem. Can you please explain the funnel icon? Actually, Battala funnel is nothing but a filter. If you click on that, automatically we can filter something in that. So we already discussed one that topic on the third day or fourth day. I think so. That is list configuration. So we can see that option anywhere. So we can use that. Venkata, I don't know about that. So can you please help you due to the issues? Aish, I didn't get the exact question that you want to ask. What is the query that you have? Can you say about the service no August program is that is in chance to get placement in? Yeah, Vinesha. So actually, whereas coming to the career fair, right? So in the career fair, there will be a list of companies that are going to host over there. So you people can join that host and you can go for the interviews. So there will be exam, there will be a mock interviews, there will be a group discussion, something kind of things is going to happen in that. So that is the career fair. So in that, there will be around 20 plus companies, I think so. So each and every company is going to hire some set of people. So you can attend each and every drive over there by booking a slot over there. Okay. So there will be separate explanation for that. So you can wait for that. So finally, everyone got certificate or not? Madhu, if you are not doing the global certification exam, also we are going to provide one certification that is virtual internship certification, right? So to get that, you people need to complete these three courses. Welcome to ServiceNow, micro certification as well as fundamentals on demand course. That's your choice, Veera Venkata. If you are interested in going with any other courses that is there in the now learning, you can search for that and you can start working on that. So what is batch updates? Batch updates is nothing but it is like a parent and child. Whatever the things that we are going to do, it is going to store in the update sheet itself. But if you want to change the configurations, if you want to change the configurations, we can directly change the configuration of the parent, then it automatically applies to the child as well. That is the additional advantage of using batch. That's it. The three assigned courses are watching videos or we need to do anything. Kumaresh, whereas coming to the first two courses, we need to do something. Then after that third course, we need to watch the videos and we need to do something. Kirtika, are not able to download the videos that is there in the drive. Yeah, we will check that. We will check that. Okay, no problem. Yeah, Ramesh, I have created one more account. That is the second instance that I'm telling them. Because I don't have the production account, I don't have the developer account, right? So I'm using two free accounts. So to explain this topic, I have used one more account that is very easy to understand everyone. Sorry, Rohini. Actually, whatever the message that I do post, right, I will pin that. Okay, you can check from there in the pin the comments. There is no merit for that, but you are eligible for the career fair if you complete the course and if you get the certificate. As for now, no another cohort, Venkata Abhiram. That is online, I think so. Yeah, guys, that's all for the day. Thank you all for joining. Okay, so yeah, attendance will be calculated based on the time duration that you are staying in the session. So you can be in the session. So we have 4 more minutes. If you have any kind of doubts, you can ask me. I'm going to explain that. And thank you all for joining in the class once again. So we will meet you tomorrow with a new topic. Okay. So is the voucher that you are giving is for global certification? Yes, that is good for global certification now. Yeah. You can use that voucher for global certification only. The voucher cost is around $300. Okay. So that's why we are always focusing on that. So there are a lot of benefits for you for just joining in this course. So that's all for the day, guys. Bye everyone. Have a nice day. And we all meet you tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you all for joining in the class. Bye everyone.